Last month, Jim McDonnell was sworn in as the 59th chief of the Los Angeles Police Department, and he is here now for his first live in-studio interview with us. Welcome and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Mayor Bass calls you a change maker. What do you expect to change?
You know, you look at where we've been in policing the profession across the United States for the last 5 years and really more than that. And it's been very difficult times for people who want to stay in the profession, and we've seen a mass exodus from there, kind of a brain drain. Morale is at a low point, and that affects everything else that revolves from that. And then the ability to be able to recruit new people and get the best and the brightest to come into the profession and set us up for a successful next generation. Those have all been impacted. So I hope to be able to come in and bring some reasonableness to a lot of the systems within the organization. Our disciplinary system has been an issue, and we need to hold our people to a high level of account, but at the same time be reasonable and realize that the job they have is extremely difficult. Nobody calls the police when things are going well. They get there and it's generally chaotic, and they're dealing with situations that have taken many years to get to where they are, and the expectation has been that they will try and resolve those in the 10 minutes they have before they roll off to the next call, which is also a priority for them. So very difficult. Try and be able to work more closely with our officers, give them the support they need to do the job. Again, hold them to a high level of accountability, but work with the community. Community identified problems and try and solve problems, not just symptoms.
Yeah, definitely a tough job. You mentioned one of the things we want to talk about more with you, recruiting new officers,
Yeah.
getting more officers into the department with everything you mentioned, low morale, not enough officers, being overworked. How do you convince people to come into that?
You know, I think by portraying the job for what it is, that we're human, we're out there. There's very few other professions that put themselves in harm's way to protect someone they've never even met. So it's a very noble calling to come into the profession. And the satisfaction you get is realizing that you're dealing with people maybe on the worst day of their life, and maybe you were able to help manage that and make it a little bit better for them. You can't put a price on the feeling of satisfaction of dealing with a young kid that was distressed or in trouble, and you were able to help them. They'll never forget that, and it's something that has a big payoff internally.
Yeah, in Los Angeles, such an interesting community to be policing in, or reporting in for that matter. Let's talk about immigration right now. Of course, the president-elect has promised mass deportations. You have said you won't cooperate with ICE. I want to know what that looks like, and also your response to critics who said that you, as sheriff, did work with ICE to handle inmates who are undocumented.
Right, yeah. Two totally different jobs in a different time period. When I look at where we are today in the LAPD, if people talk about Special Order 40, which goes back to 1979, that was Chief Darrell Gates signed that, and a special order is a mechanism to change the policy manual. He changed the policy manual effective at that time. And for the last 45 years, our policy has been we don't stop people to determine their immigration status. We don't deal with people in a way that is impacted by their immigration status at all. We don't do immigration enforcement. And so it's been that way for my whole career. It's not going to change. So when people are worried about, can I report a crime to the police? Can I be a witness? Can I report myself as a victim? Absolutely. We need to work with all segments of our community in order for us to be able to know what's going on and to be able to address the problems appropriately and to protect everybody. If people are afraid to call the police because of the immigration implications there might be, then that has a chilling effect on public safety for everybody, and we certainly don't want to go down that road at all.
And what if there is a federal mandate, ICE shows up, raids are in order? What then?
Yeah, if ICE is going to do what ICE does. ICE is very limited in the personnel they have to do what has been put out there that was in the offing. The reality is, to do that, they would need the help of local and state police. They're not going to get that in California, and I would argue probably most cities across America won't do that when they see the impact it has on the population.
Absolutely. Okay, on a positive note, the 2028 Olympics feel very far away, I think, for the general population, but as far as security and getting the city ready, are you guys working on that yet?
We are. We have a group that are looking at that, the planning, the preparation, the networking, putting a lot of things in place. But while many are, excuse me, while many are focused on 2028, where we have the World Cup in 2026, the NBA All-Star Game in 2026. We have a lot of things, the Super Bowl following that in 27. We have a lot of things leading up to the Olympics and Paralympic Games. So those will be somewhat of a training measure for us to be able to increase our preparation. But all of those things, the eyes of the world will be on Los Angeles, and each are equally important as far as how Los Angeles is portrayed to the rest of the world. By the time the Olympics get here, we hope to have been able to rebound from our recruitment deficit and have a more robust police department. But the reality is, for an event this big, we have to have a network of state, federal, and local partners all working as one team to be able to ensure the safety and enjoyment of everybody coming to watch the Olympics here in Los Angeles.
You have more than 4 decades of experience here in Southern California. You know the community well. You were the chief in Long Beach. You were the sheriff. You served many years in the LAPD. When you reflect back on all of those years, what's the biggest lesson you learned? What's your biggest accomplishment? And did you make any mistakes?
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm human. I make, excuse me, I make mistakes every day, and I hopefully learn from them. And if that's the case, then it's worthwhile. I try to minimize those. But yeah, looking back, I think the lessons learned are the interpersonal things. So the little things matter. You know, the time you take to stop and shake a little kid's hand and ask them how they're doing. Those are the kind of things that seem like nothings, but they shape the perception of the police for many years to come in that young person. I look at big picture. Again, we get everything done with the help of others, and having a strong network across the country with our partners and other agencies, learning from their mistakes when they happen, having the network to be able to talk to them and get the inside scoop on what happened and how do we set ourselves up here in Los Angeles for success by learning about what's happening in other cities across America. And I've been blessed that I've been able to develop that network over time and bring some of those lessons home to Los Angeles.
All right, a lot of work ahead of you, but you do have a ton of experience. We're excited to see what you do going forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much
Thanks
for taking the time. I know it's a busy time for you right now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.